Allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay.
she
Off your mic. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego political, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the political, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't.
Hello there.
Mayegun na wa mo la mo dododo.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun na wa mo la mo dododo.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun today, oh.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Please let me know if the audio is perfect at your own end there.
Diary political.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Remember, share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them, Mayegun today.
Mayegun lawamo dododo.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Indeed, it is going to be an interesting night. And please share the broadcast.
Sorry, Facebook. And yes, Sorry, YouTube.
The Nigerian army says they are sorry. We are very sorry. Just as I predicted or said yesterday, Lagbaja, the chief of army staff visited Todunebiri. The people they bombed to migrants, the survivors, to say sorry to all of them. It was Princess Balogun who first on this platform warned majority of us in the diaspora, and she said, a day is coming that even this diaspora, save for majority of Nigerians, escape from the criminals who have set Nigeria up for doom. That a time is actually going to when people, all of us who are here, whether we like it or not, will end up having to go to Nigeria. Policies, she said, can change everyone's any moment. Please let me know if there is anything wrong with the video. I could see there seems to be some lagging or so. I do that is network or something else. But let me know if it is becoming something really concerning. And thank you very much for joining me again. So if the audio and the video are sort of acting up like lagging, I believe it probably has to do with the network. So it's going to get better, okay? And it should probably be better right now, I believe. But thank you very much for those who for those who have actually changed. Shared the broadcast. Thank you to those of you who have also paid your own offering, like the broadcast. Thank you too. Now, yeah, I've noticed that. Okay, I want us to for a moment. Maybe you should stop just staring at my mouth. Okay, it's going to fix itself. Don't worry. In a few minutes, it's going to fix itself. All right. However, just listen to my voice. Now, people have been reacting to the news of the government of the United Kingdom, UK, issuing new rules, immigration rules, starting from January 2024. And the reactions have been coming from mostly the people who have signed up for the same visa scheme that has now become the sort of a political brickmanship kind of in the UK. But for those of us who are watching me right now from Nigeria, all right, this program is going to possibly help you if you are making a decision on where do you want to JAPA to, okay, and why you should be sort of more careful if you are choosing the UK. So there is politics primarily behind all of this. Also, to those who might have been sort of spreading the conspiracy, also lies, that the reasons why the UK government is changing the rules or sort of making stricter rules is because of Nigerians. Some believe that some Nigerians, even though Nigeria is probably number 3 or number 4 in the overall countries who have actually made net migration through the legal visa process that is now in contention. Are you with me? So, but there is politics behind it. And that is what I'm going to sort of clear. And at the same time, hopefully, what you are going to see or hear on this platform this moment is also going to help you in making that decision finally. Because of the failure of the ruiners of Nigeria, I'm talking about the criminals who have continued to tank the economy of Nigeria by their corrupt, selfish political decisions. As much as they have continued on that trajectory of poverty for all, it has already it's sort of pushed more people to have chosen to leave Nigeria for so many reasons. And in the UK, here in the UK, in the last 13 years, the politicians here, they have been using immigration and immigrants even more. So yeah, let me clear this as well for clarity. Gone are the days when Nigerians would be coming to the UK illegally, like other means than getting legal residency, work permit, and all of that in the last 13 years. So back here in the UK, the same politicians here in the UK for the past 20 years, for some reasons that we could probably not figure, have managed to consistently underfund some critical sectors or structure, so to say, in this country. Okay. And by so doing, with the inflation and all of that economic stuff that's coupled with that of years, underfunding like NHS, for example, which is so critical to this country, like, you know what I mean, award-winning NHS. The people who are here, those who are here working in that particular sector, they are making demand for so many years now. They are making demand for sort of increased better pay, but they've met their demands. And this has led to so many of them to have chosen between to continue to work like slave and have nothing to for it per se, because gone are the days when you are working for government, sector like that. Some certain age, you should have gotten to a stage where you afford your own home, your own house. But that's becoming no longer realistic for an average British due to this low pay and all that. Low pay, high inflation. So what did the politicians do? If you can't take the pay, those who can take the pay. So they opened up their portal, designed a visa, a sign of a visa process that at number one, will generate them billions of pounds, easy money. One. Number two, it's also going to, that was their vision, though, it was going to help them to close the gap of workforce in those places where people have chosen to either should I work or stay on benefit. Do you understand that? So politicians in this country, the Tories, they decided that cheap labor through a designed, migrant visa, a skilled work visa, which also allow the immigrants, whether you are coming here to study or you are coming here to work, you can bring your family and all of that. So it was so good that last 2 years, what they planned to achieve in 10 years, 600,000, that was going to be controlled. The last 2 years alone, they have issued more visa to the skilled workers, students. They have issued more visas to their dependents than the main applicants. Now, here is where those who know this very well in this country can tell you that they are not just putting the blame on the immigrants, as well as trying to sort of divert the attention, right? Even here in what do you call it, in the UK, the people can tell that the politicians are are crooked with what they are doing. But here is my own layman explanation, okay? So we can bring in, you can bring in your families and all of that. And within that space in time, they generated over 4 or 5 billion pounds sterling from people who were applying. Now, they themselves increased the net migration, and with the belief that, okay, number one, cheap labor, they will fill in the space that those who don't want to work can stay. They'll fill up those spaces. Not just NHS and care. There are those who are also going to fill up other cheap labor, which are like national minimum wage in this country. It's like living wage. You'll be working, okay? You pay your bills and all of that, but you probably will not have enough to say, oh, in 5 years in so years when I retire, okay, I should have probably no. That's likely not, possible in this kind of economy here in the UK, and they know that. So they issued excess visas to the migrants and dependents. But here is now the twist. Majority of us, this is not even like myself, majority of us here in the UK who are migrants and working here and resident working in the UK, majority of us are charged for almost everything. You see the NHS surcharge, which they have now increased, by the way. The NHS, like more than 60% of us never even use NHS for the duration of the time that we are built for. And all of that is still pretty much to help and invest in NHS, pay the people more and the rest of that. Here you get. So, majority of these new dependents too, they have no right to government benefits, welfare, whether it is for housing or whether it is for feeding or whatever it is. So you have no right. Your family have no right to any government welfare. Remember, they were charging people for this particular visa that you can bring your family. They were charging people between 5,000 and 30,000 pounds sterling for that. Now, despite the fact that making such money, this same money was not really invested on that NHS, or probably never enough. Okay? So the same people never made provision for housing or whatever, any extra per se. But statistically, these migrants and their family who actually legally came to this country, okay? Majority of them and their dependents have no benefit and they hardly use the NHS. Majority of them work in the care system of the same NHS, like for the same pay that the indigenous British have decided they considered as slave pay. Now, in all of that, the same government that has made so much money through that, right? They are now putting the entire collapse in the system where people spend more time to see GP. They spend more time in the emergency room. They spend more time, hours, waiting for ambulances. And the government that plotted filling the workforce, see, that brought these people, the same government didn't make any extra provision for them. So it is easier to blame them even when they actually take nothing but add more. Now, when you now talk about those who are students, they also added conditions to these visas, by the way, okay? The hours you can work, how much money you are, for example, for you to qualify for their visa, for dependent visa, number one, you must have a job here. And that job must be able to pay you a certain amount. That amount is sort of a it's like the national minimum wage in the UK. National minimum wage in the UK. That's how much you are going to make in a year. Okay. Now, if you have a job that is offering you that in the UK, you are qualified for their visa. The moment you have that visa, your dependents, if you have children, if you have a husband or wife, automatically they will get the same visa for 5 years. Now, the agreement was when you pay them all you have to pay them, and you show them that this is the amount of money I will be earning in a year, okay? They will give you their visa. You will work that job for 5 years, okay? Pay tax, do all of that. Then you will be qualified. You will now be in the, you will qualify for indefinite stay. Now, indefinite means you are no longer on that visa of limited visa. You are now on open visa where you have a choice to become British. So many people sold their properties. And listen to me, the reason why you are watching this is because you're either a Nigerian or you have a relationship with a Nigerian and you have something that somehow link you with this news. But listen, Nigeria is number 4 on the list of countries who have actually had more people. Countries like India, China, Pakistan, and all these places, they have their, their own dependent in hundreds of thousands. And I don't blame them. They all fulfill the legal requirements by the UK. So the agreement was like, it's going to be a journey. And once you fulfill your part and you pay for it, and you come to the UK, you are not coming to the UK to depend on anybody. They did not come to the UK to depend on the government. They came to the UK to fulfill their part of a visa that the UK government and the UK politicians intentionally or greedily, selfishly issued. So they are now blaming them because the people that are contributing and they are not taking anything are now being blamed for the overstretching of the system. But look at it this way. In the same UK, for some reason, in the same UK, every day, they have people who come on dinghies, on boats, no documents, no anything. And currently, it has become like a pandemic in the UK to the point that the UK government that has been taking care of them. Like, see, if you come to the UK on the boat, okay, they will rescue you. They will put you in a 5-star hotel. Every day, they said they are spending thousands of pounds sterling on each person that they call like refugees. They are refugees, asylum seekers. These are people they rescued on the sea, on water, here in the UK. So they put them in hotels, they feed them, to the point that UK government was spending money to go and resettle them in Rwanda. The number is so huge that the UK government is spending so much to maintain them. There are some of them that are housed on ships in the UK. These are people who contribute nothing. The the people here in the UK who are indeed suffering from this, from this government failure, they are also watching in horror Listen, oh, I'm coming back to those who actually bought it and sold their properties to move. And right now, they have no idea what the journey is going to be like, because the visa they gave to them to come here, for example, that says your annual pay is 25,000 pounds sterling. That means everything you are going to inherit that year is not going to be less than 25,000 pounds. It can be more, but it can be less. Because if it is less, you are not fulfilling your visa, your own visa, part of the visa deal. So by the time you want to, you want to reapply again for an extension, it could be a problem. It is the same thing with when you kind of get admission as a student. Okay, no matter how much you paid or how much you are paying, if you don't meet up your attendance, what do you call tallies or what have you, it is going to pop up when you are now going to probably make a renewal and all that. Listen, these are people who came legally now. So you can't earn more less than 25,000 pounds, but you can earn more. Okay. Now they have now increased any job you want to come and do here. See the trick. That job must be offering you 38,000 pounds annually. Any immigrant coming here to come and live here, you can't bring your family, you can't bring any dependents. No, you can't. Especially if you are coming for skilled work. Now all of them can't come anymore. But that job, that care work, or any work at all, must be a work that is not, you must not earn less than 38,000 pounds. Now, like I said, here is the politics in it. You will think, oh, okay, maybe all of the British people, Britons, if we want to use their own language now, the Britons who decided not to work, some have decided to leave the country. Sure, you get to go and look for a job elsewhere. Sure, you understand that pays them well and treat them, you know what I mean? Instead of some have decided not to work, okay? And they have decided to be taking benefits. Right now, the same government that couldn't fund this system, right, very well, they now have to kind of fund welfare system. Now they are now having problem with the welfare system. We're finding that a week or so ago, the same government came back and said, well, if you are working before and you suddenly stopped working for some reason and all that, we will need you to go back to work or look for a job. We can no longer pay you. Do you get that now? So they are saying that even, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the politics, like I said. Mind you, before I come to that, right? It's not that they are going to increase the salary now in the UK to 38,000 though. Do you see the trick there? They are saying if you are an immigrant who want to come to the UK and you are offered a job, that job must not be less than 38,000 pounds. You get that? It must not be less than that. And you can't bring your dependent or family or anybody. Yet, those who are here, like those who are actually here working in that same system, they are not telling them that, okay, we are increasing your job or your salary to 38,000 pounds. No. The minimum wage is still about 25,000, 26,000 pounds. So it's not changing anything here. But here is another problem. There are many problems, though, that is beyond all of now where they won't sell your properties to relocate to the UK twice, okay? This is not limited to you, like I said. There are those here who are British and their partners who are in relationship, in different relationships that their partners are not British. Before now, you could bring your partner to UK, marry them, and get them a job. It's not that difficult. Sure, you get. Right now, hang on. You could bring your partner to the UK, marry them and bring them here, even if you no get job. Then it changed. that you must have a work, you must have a job. You must be earning a minimum of £80,000 sterling before you can say you want to bring your partner to the UK. See, I'm not talking about me, you now, who want to bring our partner. So no. I'm saying British. Omonilu, that is British. They gave them that ratio, 18,000. That changed to 22,000. Right now, you see these new rules, it also applies to them. They must be earning at least £38,000 sterling. Oyibo British. And guess what? If you know the type of people that are earning £38,000 in a year in the UK, there are like different categories of people or category of people. It's not everyone that easily, or we can say everyone belongs to that category of people that earn 38,000. So that also affects them. Even though some people are saying that, can we blame them? Of course we can't. It is just a clarion call. And as we say it in Yoruba, Iku tó ń pa ojúgbà ẹni, òwe ló ń pa fúnni. Everyone that is said that has already jackpot, you have jackpot, and where you are, now only God knows what kind of a visa they your hand. Even if you already have the citizenship or whatever it is, the world is changing. Far-right politicians are putting their blame, their failure, they are putting them on immigrants. It doesn't matter how you see it. It doesn't matter how you protest it. We can all wake up tomorrow and there you have it. Another rules. And if you have had a chance of living Nigeria, and right there where you are still supporting the degenerating state of Nigeria. You are supporting the continued, pillaging of Nigeria. You are supporting these criminals that are continually making the country inhabitable for ordinary people. One day, whatever you have right now that is keeping you safe wherever you are, you can wake up one morning and the background, they will remind us we are immigrants. It doesn't matter if the person that is also reminding us who we are is also an immigrant himself. But don't get it twisted. Politicians are almost the same all over the world. And I'm coming back. Here is here are the listed what they want to do. Banning this, banning that, scraping this, stopping that, and on like that. Here you get. But the Home Secretary, James clearly stated what their new policy will be like from January. I will come back with my own, widow's mite advice soon.
So of a 5-point plan, the first of our 5 points will be to end the abuse of the health and care visa. We will stop overseas care workers from bringing family dependents, and we will require care firms in England to be regulated by the Care Quality Commission in order for them to sponsor visas. Approximately 120,000 dependents accompanied 100,000 care workers and senior care workers in the year ending September 2023. Only 25% of dependents are estimated to be in work, meaning a significant number are drawing on public services rather than helping to grow the economy. We recognise that foreign workers do great work in our NHS and health sector, but it is also important that migrants make a big enough financial contribution. Therefore, we will increase annual immigration health surcharge this year by 66%, from £624 to £1,035, to raise, on average, around £1.3 billion for the health services of this country every year. Second, We will stop immigration undercutting the salary of British workers. We will increase the skilled worker earnings threshold by a third to 38,700 from next spring, in line with the median full-term wage for those kinds of jobs. Those coming on health and social care visa routes will be exempt, so we can continue to bring in the healthcare workers on which our care sector and NHS rely. Thirdly, we will scrap cut-price shortage labour from overseas by ending the 20% going rate salary discount for shortage occupations and reforming the shortage occupation list. I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the occupations on this list because of our new higher skilled worker salary threshold. And we will create a new immigration salary list with a reduced number of occupations. People only bring dependents who they can support financially. By raising the minimum income for family visas to the same threshold as the minimum salary threshold for skills workers, which is 38,700. The minimum income requirement of 18,600 has not been increased since 2012. Madam Deputy Speaker, this package of measures will take place from next spring. Finally, having already banned overseas master's students from bringing family members to the UK, I have asked the Migration Advisory Committee to review the graduate route to prevent abuse, to protect the integrity and quality of the UK's outstanding higher education sector. It needs to work in the best interests of the UK, supporting the pathway into high-quality jobs for the global talent pool, but reducing opportunities for abuse. So I have a five-point plan. The first of our...
So did you hear that? He's a politician. They want to bring high profile professionals, health practitioners to the UK. Okay, so this is going to be their way of controlling the net migration and all that. And if you don't understand that, it's pretty much appealing to, a portion of the country who also believes that the immigrants who are coming here are contributing, nothing. Did you hear him when he said only 25% of those who came here, their dependents, were working? But he didn't add that these dependents have no right to government support or government funding. And when it comes to the NHS, they actually paid to be looked after. And he said NHS surcharge is £620. That is not true. The last time I paid that was £1,540. That was their last NHS surcharge. But they've increased that by 66%. It's all about, okay, yeah, let's see how much money we can also rake from them again. There are many now. And he actually had the number. They said about £1.5 billion is what they will raise from the NHS surcharge alone. Among other things that they actually take money for and all that, only for them to turn around and say, well, the reason why some of the people have no job or high-paying job in this country is because, the immigrants are doing it cheaper. So you know what? We are just going to have to do something. And in order because a lot of people right now, there is this lady, she is not African or Nigerian. So she appeared to be, somebody who is probably like an European, because they have another one for some set of Europeans, okay, some visas for them too. And this is also going to affect them as well, okay? Some of these Asian countries who are also here, it's going to also affect them. So this lady, she is, imagine this, so person will be immigration lawyer. So she had to come out to say, seriously, that the plan is not actually to stop just people coming in. The plot is indeed to ensure that those who are in Gongon, by the time they want to renew their visas, and based on what the visa that brought them in, the game has changed, the rule has changed. So according to her, it is either she found a new job. She's, she says she's earning under 30,000 pounds sterling a year as an immigration lawyer. Some people were even shocked, like, how come? Because most immigration lawyers in this country work pro bono. They barely get paid per se. Seriously, I've used some of them. Sure you get, because the government go pay them. In Scotland, we have what is called the legal aid. So if you don't get money and you need a lawyer, they will give you money. They will pay your lawyer. But it's going to be government pay. It's not going to be like your lawyer billing you per se. So this lady is concerned that she either find a job in a field or another field in 2 years, or our journey in the UK is over. Or more people are going to Canada, where they are offering them resident permit, right from Muritala. And people are selling their properties because they want to come to the UK. So I have looked around because people are jackpotting everywhere. Fine. Like in 2 years in Canada, you are free to bring, they are even like announcing that they want you to bring this and bring that. But do you know the adverse effect of all of this after this whole noise goes down? Because they know too. Their schools here, they have made a fortune in the last 13 years. No joke. Schools in the UK, they have made fortune. They depend on this international students. And again, stop putting yourselves at the center of it all because you are Nigerians. There are countries that are bringing loads and loads and loads of their people into the UK on the same visa. So don't always make it look like, because some of you will be like, the UK is making money. That is why they don't want Nigeria to break. Of course, it might be part of that, but listen, they are just cashing in and cashing out. Cashing out on Nigeria's mystery. It's practically what is going on. But a lot of countries are paying the bill. And in this economy in the UK, there are so many of them that depends on it. So what this is going to mean is that apart from people paying to get all of this, the economy in the UK, has given the micro businesses, that's like a small businesses, the opportunities to hire cheaper. Sure, you understand? Hire cheaper means they are happy to pay the minimum wage. Minimum wage of a £10.50. How much is minimum wage, Seth? £10 per hour. They are happy to pay. But you see people who are here, go. Nobody want to really take the job of £10 per hour. But somebody who is coming from other developing countries, they will just be like, £10 per hour. How many hours a day? You can only work for 10 hours. And I know, but I want to do extra time. What am I doing? It's not even a tedious or hard job. They're happy to take the £10. But the person regular here knows that, of course, you can continue to take the £10 per hour. You will live your life normally. You can even go on holidays. You can do things. But you will remain under that radar that your aspiration and everything in life are going to be limited based on they just live and die, kind of. So they begin to look for jobs that are offering them 15 pounds an hour, 20 pounds an hour. Some even go to the extent of getting extra knowledge and all of that, certification, in order for them to get paid even 100 pounds an hour, 200, 500 an hour. Like those ones are like, But you get what I mean? So all those are going to be gone. The NHS vacuum, that despite all of these people, the people who entered, those who got in, and they are working in different care job. You see, UK, United Kingdom, as one of the aging population in the world. When I say aging, old people, like Oyinbo, they always plan ahead. Those who are in their 60s now, majority of them, in their pension, in their everything, they have been putting together fund for their care, for when they will need them, from when they were like around that 60, 70. Because by the time you get to 80, 90, you're going to need a carer. And you see this Scotland has one of the highest population of aging population, which means United Kingdom and our citizens and our residents, they are always going to need carers in the sector. So if people who are working in the healthcare are being underpaid, and the immigrants who are taking the job cannot make more than certain amount in a year. So if you now pretend to make law that you want to control immigration, so all of that will disappear, but it's not going to happen all of a sudden. Remember, people are already suffering from the overstretch of the entire system. But politicians want to score a quick, cheap one. That is where my own advice comes to you. Because I am from Nigeria. And I know there are Nigerians who have been coming to this country in the last 13 years. The chunk of them, they came to this country legally because they came as skilled workers, people who had something to contribute. And they have been contributing up to date. Here you get. So if they are going to be thrown under the bus at this point, that is where my own advice comes in. It is not worth it. You know what I mean? Because you see those who are already in, whether as a student, here you get, as a student now, you have dependents. Your husband, be your wife. You have your children. Some of you have brought them in already. Here you get. Very great, very fine. Some of you have been here for 2 years. Some for the past 1 year. Some of you are students, they gave you 2.5 years, 2.5 years. Abi, your own seems a bit better, you will say, Abi, which means you are given limited time of time you can work. Meanwhile, you must ensure that you are paying your school fees, even if the work you are doing and that of your dependent could barely pay your bills. You must make sure you are paying your school fees and you are attending classes. Now, here is the thing you need to know. With what they have just done now, it simply means you can easily remain in this country at the expiration of your study. Whether you want to do postgraduate, whatever, you know what I mean? You can use them if you can afford them, okay? In the next 4 years, many of you, your visas will run out. Remember, you need to keep your job so that your dependents can remain in the country. Now, the twist here is this. you must be earning a certain amount of money. What people don't know now is, could the combination of income be a saving grace? Why not? If you are a couple living together, both working, there may be combination of your pay can give you that base of 38,000 pounds. That may be the only grace. If either of you or combination of you are unable to earn that threshold, they will write you to remind you the day you have to leave the country. And the issue of what did they call it? What are they calling that again? Indefinite stay. I mean, definite leave to remain. The one that then gets you closer to either becoming British, getting your passport, and the rest of that. Now, that will now be decided or determined by how much you are earning. Not how much you have contributed to the country, which primarily was why they said they were bringing you in as skilled workers. All those hours, all those extra shifts, all those extra time, all those things you put in for the next 5 years, if none of them comes down to 38,000 pounds sterling a year, you are toast, though. And that is where we are going to advise a lot of you who are also going to plan your JAPA. I promise you one thing, no matter how stringent their conditions, as long as the criminals in Nigeria continue to destroy Nigeria, listen to me, Nigerians will continue to find means to continue to afford those stringent conditions. But that will be for those who are still planning to come. But for those of us who are here, I think I'm beginning to believe that our days are numbered. It's just going to take one single far-right politician and their group to blame us for why the system is not working. And one single pronouncement can turn that plastic card, abi that booklet called passport, it can turn it into a souvenir. And I am not joking. Ask those who probably studied the history of the Nazis and what they did. It took one madman to lead army of a million of devotees, and that changed the course of history. I just want you to remember that there is always going to be a time they will remind us that we are immigrants, and only one policy will kind of happen, and you and I will be having this conversation again. As it is for now, if you ask me, Mayegun, what do you think about relocating to the UK? First, I'm going to say, Baba, do you really have so much part of your life that you want to probably put forward towards the political gambling in this country? There are people that are going to be mentally ruined. We are already experiencing serious problems gone, where people have been defrauded. They have been offered jobs, offered their visas. They go to the UK. There is no job. Some of them have become destitute. Some of them have become, God knows, right? This is another different story of the abuse of the same system that we are talking about. Too. Now, I don't know if I can explain the mental, torture that people have been through just simply because they want to relocate here or elsewhere. So, meanwhile, there are places that if I have to offer you that advice, there are places that indeed your mental health should still be able to handle. Not like the one that they will be using for gamble and all that, like here. But finally, that one is just for those who can afford to, because now person will get money, they travel. Sure, na person wey get money. The JAPA. JAPA is not for poor person. Because some people will tell you, if I have 20 million, if I have 30 million, why should I JAPA from Nigeria? But a lot of them, they are not different from those poor people. Poor people who believes that everything that you need to be rich is money. Sure you get. And today, you have billionaires in Nigeria who are living off the poverty capital of the world. So they said Nigerians are so rich that all they have is money. Sure you understand now? So there are those who believe that if they have 30 million naira, why should they go abroad? But so many people don't understand that people live for different reasons. Abi, we've had people who survived kidnapping. And in their way, they were like, for surviving the kidnapping that they have not been, they didn't die, they would rather leave Nigeria. People are making choices to leave for so many reasons. But if you are looking for the one that gives you peace of mind, and any other sacrifices that people tells you, if you don't have a very strong mental health, a very strong one, no, you will break you if you come to the UK. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I am just letting you know what you are delving into. You see, those who are here right now, a lot of them will tell you today, those who have become the victims, they will tell you, see how everything turns out. And they continue to change the rules. That's the UK for you. There are places you can be where indeed, at least in 2 years, you become the resident. You can sort yourself and the rest of that. But above all, anywhere we will like, no will run. Everywhere, just like UK is currently pretending that they are working on a net migration. Everywhere they say we are welcomed. We are welcomed. One of these days, like I said, it will only take one single politician and their group to say they don't want you anymore. And before you know it, they will begin to remind us we are immigrants. So those who have the chance of living Nigeria, they are like those who have a chance, a second chance. All of us, we are people who have second chance. And what do I mean by that? You know, there's something they say about education. They say the best education in life is actually traveling. Oh. Some said, well, traveling is one of the best education in life. You are going to learn about
It is a colonial language. It is a colonial language. It is a colonial language. But we actually been requested to say something because there are some other people here who are so much interested in what we said. Our topic is the issue of corruption as far as leadership in Nigeria is concerned. It is a colonial language. But we actually been requested to say something because there are some other people here who are. It is a colonial language, but we actually been requested to say something because there are some other people here who are so much interested in what we said. Our topic is the issue of corruption as far as leadership in Nigeria is concerned. It is a colonial language, but we actually been requested to say something because there are some other people here who are so much interested in what we said. Our topic is the issue of corruption as far as leadership in Nigeria is concerned. I expressed my own understanding. I said corruption does not spare any other country. And the human being, as you see him, as long as you don't implement the rules and the regulations of the country, don't think you can stop him. Human being can turn into anything. Sometimes he can even become animalistic. He even kills in pursuit of his own interest. It's universal, it's all over the world. That is why you find the world in crisis today. In Nigeria, you can really see somebody whose salary is not more than 300 naira a month, you find him having many houses, many cars, and everything. Nobody can believe what recently happened. A former accountant general of the Federation in Nigeria, who is accused and before the court of law for stealing over 109 billion naira, was last 3 weeks turbaned by the emir of Kano in Kano, great celebrations, and the people were celebrating what actually was not in our character. This is something entirely new to us. You can't believe this. People claim that Nigeria has no money. Nigeria has money, but Nigeria has mismanagement. The leaders are not sensitive. National Assembly is not sensitive at all. And not only that, if care is not taken, future elections will be very, very difficult to do.
Glorify your name to the call, owner of the day, owner of the beginning and the head. I glorify your name to the call, Father of the glory. There is nobody can share the glory with you. You are beginning of the glory, you are everlasting. No, you are glorify your name to the call.
Amen. I am so sorry, right? I've been having that issue with my system. Okay, so what I had to do was to kind of restart the whole, the whole system entirely, and I hope the freezing will stop. Okay, I hope. Thank you very much. By the way, so yeah, just trying to let you know that, no matter where we go to, like I said, it's just going to take one person to just say, listen, you are the reasons why we are having this problem now. Okay, we don't want you anymore. And when they are saying immigrants, you know, where you have Nigerians, okay, then we'll begin to have this kind of conversation again. So if you have been outside Nigeria, it's a second chance for you. A chance that those who are still in Nigeria, they don't have. Like I said, a chance, number one, to call, white, to call black, to help liberate the mind of those that continue to defend the criminals that probably prompted your action of leaving Nigeria. Like, don't forget why you left. Don't forget what you were going through, what you saw. We all saw something that made us kind of make up our mind like, you know what, I'm just leaving this place. Stop loving Nigeria from abroad. Stop contributing to what is going on in Nigeria. Stop trying to think people who are speaking up, they have no idea of what they are doing. Because you see this sky that is crashing. Now all of us, you go touch. Congratulations to you, Jare, inland specialists. 7 years in Canada. And he got his Canadian passport today, so he became a Canadian this year, after 7 years. That is also the same Canada that you see some people in 5 years. You know, in 2 years, they get the permanent residency. And at the same time, in 5 years, they are already Canadians. And there are other people who are working so hard, contributing to their different country of residence, Abi. So all of us, we understand, who actually understand what it means to leave Nigeria and at the same time to experience life in the other side, on the other side. And then you are supporting the criminals that sent you packing in the first place. So one of these days, initially, I was feeling like it's almost that time. You know, when it got to a stage whereby everybody's like almost meeting all of their former neighbors. former juniors, seniors. Everybody is meeting themselves on the street of different places all over the world now, because a lot of people have moved. A lot of people have moved.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
thank
shall I
you,
say?
Lord.
Thank you.
I don't read social media anymore. They abuse the hell out of me. If I read it, I get high blood pressure. I get angry. I don't read it. So, if I want to hear anything, my children or any of my workers will tell me, this one say this one. If I'm tired, I say, please, forget it.
Shay, help us, oh, help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet?
My audio back, but it seems that for some reason, I am suffering from technical glitches tonight. Why is that? I've never suffered this kind of a technical glitch in a very long time. Do you see me now sitting down here and be like, what is going on? What do you think? Somebody said UK, but we are actually trying to enlighten ourselves. So we are not doing anything wrong, okay? So for some reason, they are trying to like, okay, we'll try to, go to the next thing, okay? Let's go to the next thing. The point here is that for those who are here, I hope you'll be able to sort of figure it out at some point, okay? So let's go to another thing. We have other things to also touch tonight, where the chief of army staff, Lagbaja, visited the people bombed 2 days ago, okay, just to tell them that they were sorry. Remember, I did say that they are going to probably go there. That's Lagbaja. So Lagbaja was there to commiserate with the people there and tell them they are sorry. So they were there with the leaders of the area. They were there at the, at where they did the mass burial That's where they buried some of them. One of the mass burials of the victims. I'm bringing it closer. I think they are praying to their soul and something like that. You know? So they are telling them that they are sorry. It was an accident. There is no one currently being held responsible. Unfortunately, some people are already trying to make it a tribal thing. So there are those who are already sharing this. Look at this. On social media, one called itself this. Yoruba Demon. These are fake accounts of APC. Egbekegbe. Do you understand? So here is another one. They are already trying to make it an Igbo thing, which is not true. Okay. So, however, Lagbaja, who was there, had this to say. This is going to be probably the first image you're going to see inside the survivors at the hospitals. Okay. So take a look.
Drop your phone. Who are you?
My assessment of that unfortunate incident of Sunday the 3rd of December 2023 is that it's grave, it's regrettable, but we will do everything possible to prevent such an occurrence happening again in the conduct of our operations going forward. I've gone around to visit and interact with the members of the community. I've come again now to the hospital to see the injured, and this will help me to know the level of expertise that I need to put on the table in conducting the inquiry into what happened on Sunday, so that that inquiry can come up with relevant recommendations that will guide us in the conduct of our operations going forward. The community has been enjoined to view what happened as just a temporary setback. It was not intended. It's regrettable, it's unfortunate, and we'll work with the community to provide necessary support to the community as a whole and to the injured persons, so that they can quickly regain their health. We are more encouraged by the support shown by the members of the community, even the injured ones here in the hospital, and that will go a long way to spur the troops to provide security, to provide an enabling environment for law-abiding citizens to go about their businesses. The troops will continue with the conduct of their operations. What we need to do is to fine-tune our operations such that we do not have this kind of lapses that will lead to unfortunate loss of life.
Drop your phone. Who are you?
My assessment of that unfortunate incident of Sunday, the 3rd of December 2023, is grave, it's regrettable, but we will do everything possible to prevent such an occurrence happening again in the conduct of our operations going forward. I've gone around to visit and interact with the members of the community. I've come again now to the hospital to see the injured, and this will help me to know the level of expertise that I need to put on the table in conducting the inquiry into what happened on Sunday, so that that inquiry can come up with
You know what? I think technically we would have to, postpone this conversation, okay? So for some reason, I couldn't really figure out what is like pushing it back and forth, I would say. But yeah, that was the Lagbaja guy who was saying, you heard him anyway. So it was pretty much saying they were sorry, and everything else you heard there is bad dash rubbish. There's nothing that's going to happen to anybody. And please, give me a sec. Can you still hear me, by the way? Somebody said that I should continue. Now, here is what we're going to do, all right? Nobody is dealing with anybody. Don't worry. Sometimes, equipment can act up, okay? So if you want me to continue, I can, but I just feel like maybe it has already taken out the vibe. Sure you get. So a lot of people said we should continue. So we will continue. And hopefully, there will be no freezing. There will be no technical glitches anymore. Okay. So thank you very much. We will continue. So the parts where I want to clear on this issue of the bombing is that they are currently saying that they are sorry. Okay. It was an accident. Nobody is going to be held responsible for that. Everybody knows, okay? However, just for the sake of all of you watching me right now, I have managed to get someone who was able to put a timeline on the activities of the Nigerian army, where they have mistakenly killed people like that, bombed them in the past. So now I'll read some of them back to you. Between 2017 and 2023, the Nigeria military, the Nigerian Air Force, they have mistakenly 16 times. You heard me? 16 times mistakenly bombed Nigerians. And not a single time has anybody been held responsible for any of them, ever. To those of us who call APC, Egbekegbe, Apanyan People's Congress, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, we have our reasons and our experiences. See, in January 2017, they had this airstrike on a refugee camp in Ran. I've told you about that, Abi. This was about 6 years ago, right? In Ran, in Borno State. So the official record said 23 people killed. But the unofficial record actually showed that more than 100 people were killed in that camp. I told you that one before. This was January 2017. In March 2017, there was this airstrike on a village near Bama in Borno State. The record said 17 people killed. That is their official record. For those who actually keep the unofficial, they will say, which is actually should have been official, more than 60 people died. 2 months after they killed over 100, accidental or mistake bombing. In January 2018, the same airstrike on a village near Auno, Borno State. Their record said 48 people killed. Listen to me. The unofficial record actually showed that over 100 people killed. Again, nobody was held responsible. Sometimes again in March 2000 and, sorry, hang on. The airstrike, there's another one. This was in September 2017. There was an airstrike on a village near Kalabage in Borno State. Their record said they killed 55 people. Of course, you should know that that's not the official. Okay. Now, another one was in March 2018, which was in Ran in Borno State again. So another one in February 2019. This was somewhere again in Marte, Borno State. They said 13 people, they died. Again, Nigerian Air Force in April 2019. Another airstrike in a village near Tangaram, Zamfara. According to them, now only one person died. In February 2020, another airstrike near the border with Nigeria, in Nigeria Republic, they said 7 people died. Of course, you know that's not 7 people. In April 2020, in Damboa, they also attacked another village and bombed innocent people there. 17 people died. They were also sorry because it was a mistake. So in June 2021, they also had another airstrike. In a village near Geno, Niger State, where 20 people also died. In September 2021, in a village called Yunusari in Yobe State, they mistakenly bombed a village and killed 10 people, official. Also, in February 2022, there was another airstrike in Kankia in Katsina State. The same Nigerian army killed 12 people officially, but it was also a mistake somehow. So sometimes again in July 2022, another airstrike in a village called Kunkuna. This is in Katsina State. According to them, the mistake killed 28 people. Nobody was held responsible. Then in December, which is yesterday, they announced that now only 120 people died. And it was a mistake. So do you not agree with some of us who believe that Nigeria is a mistake? Or these people continue to prove to us all the time that Nigeria is actually a mistake? And if there's anything that should be done is to correct the mistake. Nigerian army are killing Nigerians by mistake. And the person that is making the mistakes in that Nigerian Air Force and Nigerian army, they are getting paid and they are even getting promoted. Because all it takes is just to say sorry. I'm so sorry. We are so sorry. That's the one I wanted to see on that. Since we have been experiencing glitches here and there, I won't be taking calls tonight, okay? But again, we have, we have those that believes that whatever you think is happening in Nigeria, there is nothing anybody can do about it. Okay? You can complain and lament and do all of that, but there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. I hope that those of you who have managed to escape from Nigeria will always have it at the back of your mind that either by our own making, wish or design or not, we might find ourselves back in that contraption, and then the posterity will do justice said to us, people are going through hell, even though many of them are trying to sort of downplay it or point fingers and blame others and all of that stuff, right? But everybody knows what is going down in Nigeria. I'm going to keep appealing to you that if you are not thinking before, you should begin to, you should begin to start thinking about the consequences of your own actions. Nowhere is really safe for anyone. Or going back to Niger, you remember when Hopeless Uzodingba decided to take over all the hotels in Owerri for the election or charade that took place on the 11th of last month, right? And they said that they sent a circular or something, a letter to all the hotels in Owerri. And they told them that they are taking over all of them for their guests. There's a particular one that decided not to obey that call 100%. He still allowed his regular customers to use their own hotels. And this is a company, this is like a franchise hotel in Imo State and Owerri especially, that has been operating, a business that has been existing and operating and like known since 2010. That's like 13 years ago. But because criminals have taken over Nigeria, they cannot create wealth. All they know how to do is to loot the wealth, okay, waste it. And at the end of the day, okay, demand for more. They don't know how to create wealth. So they went after this guy. And he had this SOS out. I just saw that and I thought I'm going to use that on my program to show to you. When you see a big man like this, person will get business, multi-billionaire business, and he's lamenting like this because a criminal, a thug, is the governor in government. Okay? Until people like him are completely neutralized and chased out. When big man, they scream like this, and you are asking why are people going or selling their assets and leaving Nigeria? So this one no reach.
Put me in court, so let us sort it out. Not coming to my place to come and treating my staff and tell my staff to pack out, that my staff should go out, so they should close down. If you people force me too much, I'll close this business and you people will go and rest. I'll close it and send all these people, over 3,000 to 4,000 Igbo sons and daughters are eating from me, directly or indirectly. How many of you have these people in that you have given job? How many of you have come into Imo to come and invest like me? Why won't you allow me to rest? What is wrong with you people? You people should allow me to rest. Allow me to do my business the way I don't hurt anybody. I don't have anything to do with anybody. I do my business legitimately and so on. Please, you people should leave me alone. You people, I'm calling on you people to come and help me. Because I don't have brother, I don't have sister. You are my brother, you are my sister. I depend on you people. The youth in Imo. You people should come and ask this man question. He should leave me alone. Do his business of governance. Let us do our business of business. Put me in court, so let us sort it out.
Do you get that? These criminals are are frustrating legitimate businesses, creating fraud because they are the government. I have told you, criminals have taken over the asylum. A lunatic have taken over the asylum. You know what that means? It simply means that somebody can wake up tomorrow and say his own solution is to demolish 1,000 houses. He can't build any successfully without even, you know what I mean, like wanting them for himself. They go say government won't build houses for the poor. They want to build shops, stores for the poor so that they will stop selling market on the roadside. Then they will use the government's money to buy, to build that. Then they will now allocate it to themselves and said that some people have bought the place, You where they sell Worobo, you approach them and say, I used to sell here before you build the shop here. They said they are building the shops for all of us. Mama, we are building them for you now. 15 million naira. 15 million. My son, I don't get 15. That's why I've been selling on the roadside. Government said they are building it for us. Then they will bring a car or last mile anybody to beat everybody and chase them away. So even when they build something, they want to own them. They want to put their names on them. Sure you get. So people who are really creating wealth are being frustrated by the criminals who are not. So if you're outside Nigeria and you are wondering why some people are just looking for whatever they can to just get out of that place, many of them are leaving not because they are among those who are struggling or suffering and all of that. The terrorists who have taken over Nigeria, criminals and all of them, they will deal with everybody from the east to the west, from the west to the north, from the north to the middle belt, from Christians to Muslims. I keep reminding you all of that. But it seems that I've not really been succeeding in making you realize that every time you probably want to grandstand on, I'm Igbo, I'm Yoruba, I'm this or that, when we are talking about the gang of criminals that are, strategically positioned in different corners of Nigeria, doing what they know how to do best, just to be the weapon fashioned against you. So when you then have to deal with them, you don't use your privilege to begin to preach in defense of them. You don't need to start telling us that we are the ones who are creating a bad image for Nigeria. You can tell the people who are actually creating the real bad image. The image where when they say how many people are in the UK, they will mention Nigeria. All over the world, they will mention Nigerians, and the people who created that. You cannot then use your own comfort wherever you are to continue to defend them in the name of I love my country. No, you don't. You don't. But until you realize that you don't love Nigeria, if what is going on right now in any way doesn't move you or kind of, whether you believe it or whether you accept it or you don't, the reality is gradually settling in. So I have been thinking of how I'm going to persuade Agbeke, Ogbeni, you better begin to learn how to live in another climate. Because you cannot tell me now that I should go back to Dogbolu after all my own investment in because they can do it. They can wake up tomorrow and tell me to pack my bag. They will even respect me to pack. They will say, we want you to pack your bags before the 1st of January. That means they will give me time out of respect. Well, I'm thinking that, okay, because you know what? Let us be honest with ourselves. I have children here. I have children. There's nothing like, Baba, why are you talking like this? That the UK law says, they respect their children. They don't joke with children. Sure you get. Baba, they go tell you, say, may you they go. You will know, say they know they joke with children. You that know that they can take the children from you anytime. Simply because they say you get temper tantrum. You understand? This is a country where they can wake up tomorrow and say, oh yeah, pack your bag and leave. And now you go come they ask yourself, how is that possible? My friend, do you understand what I'm saying? And the person where you they talk to go say, I understand. How is this even possible? I am a proud father of British citizens. And I say, I'm also wondering too myself, how is this possible? What has the world turned to? So I am saying it now. So you know that I used to say, by the way, if anybody, I think I've said it on this platform before, right? That if they tell me, say, me can leave the UK, I go just pack what do you call it? Caleb and that's Akinola and Yowande. those are my own bag and baggages. Here you get. I will just pack them and say, yeah, and they take them to Nigeria. But all of you know, say na play. Abi, they play. Okay? You think, say, if you grab your children now and you post it on social media and tell people that, hey, they want to send me back to Nigeria and I have 2 children here. Everybody help me. Twitter, do your job. Social media, do your work. Don't let them deport me. Baba, if the plan is that 24 hours or 48 hours after that, now Lagos are going to do live video. That 24 hours later, you know they carry anybody go anywhere. You know that. So instead of me thinking that if they say make they go back to where I come from, I could just carry my 2 kids and I would tell their mother that, well, you want to come or you know they come. Because I they carry them, they go. Anybody who wants to send me to Nigeria must send my... On a joke. Even me no say, when if they make their policy tomorrow and they say, make I leave, I can speak 100,000 grammars. I can gather sympathy from all of you. We can even start a petition. We can do all of that. Once they say go, now so me and you, all of us go carry our Nigeria must go back. Now airport will go meet. Say, Mayegu, I thought you are a citizen. I said, me too, I thought say you be British. I'm British, but they said that because I had this criminal record, so they said because of that, they have cancelled my citizenship. What they are doing, Mayegu, what they are doing, we need to fight this. I said, you and who? Abamurita Lala and Loy. You and who fight what? Now who will go fight? Now who go come fight for us? I am saying this to you because there are little things to keep us, to remind us that, you see, this freedom of being able to possibly do what you have always been dreaming of doing, helping your family, living a normal life. You have all of that where you are right now. But suddenly, is now kind of making you believe that you are being patriotic to Nigeria by defending Tifnumbu APC Egbekegbe as they are destroying Nigeria. Because as they are destroying Nigeria, more and more are finding ways to get out and get away. And where we are, more and more of their citizens are blaming us for the failure of their politicians. Even with your citizenship, with your blue passport, be American passport, one day you would wake up and they will say, may everybody leave. Now then you go understand that that's your blue passport, it get clause. Person will go kind of release the clause. Now that person never gained power yet. Do you understand? Or make I re-explain to you that you are sitting there in America, you are there in London, you are right there in Canada, and you are a champion on social media who is loving Nigeria from abroad, discouraging people in Nigeria from standing up against the criminals who sent you to that Canada, who made you to become a resident of America. One day, somebody is going to say, all of us will acquire citizenship in their country, including our children that we born in their country. They are now going to determine our citizenship by what we have done in the past. That you probably have become a new person, American citizen. You were arrested for credit card fraud some times ago. Oh, you were arrested for parking tickets. Oh, you were arrested, or you are like you slept in jail for 20. All the flimsy, new unnecessary things, they begin to pop them up and say it's on your record. So you want to take my citizenship because of that? Say, yeah, you are not the only person. We have the record, so you need to. I'm only saying this because nothing is impossible in the world that we currently live in, where those who are supposed to protect us by being real leaders, people's servants, who could have helped us to earn respect. It is no longer about what we are offering the world anymore. We have Nigerians who are outstanding professionals, contributing greatly to mankind, economies. They are there all over the world. Yet, we still don't earn any kind of respect because the criminals back in Nigeria continue to trade us off cheaply. So how dare you, from your own comfort zone, thinking you are being patriotic to Nigeria by defending the rogues that have been prompting the mass exodus, the biggest and the highest brain drain that Nigeria has ever suffered due to economic failure. Those who have orchestrated that, who are still doing it, how dare you, thinking you are being patriotic from that your comfort zone? Are you preparing at all? Because me, I go begin to negotiate with Agbeke now. If they say make I park, I would want a situation where Agbeke, herself, will be willing to park, and we can go back to Dogbolu, the farm. Because as it is, there is no, what do you call it? There is no sacred anything anymore. This is no longer a situation where you can say it can never happen, Baba. Baba, forget that. We go fight and fight who? The person we have to actually fight is ourselves, that have failed to continue to ignore the real issue, the real dangers, the consequences of these real dangers. For nonsense conversation about ethnic this, religious that, social this, and all other classism that a lot of us have invested so much. Meanwhile, we have ignored the main thing. A lot of you feel so comfortable because now don't they carry 3 passports. Some of you, they carry 4 passports. I don't even know. It's actually a class thing. All it will take is one single policy, and that your passport go become your souvenir. Souvenir, where you say, Baba, this is American passport now. Baba, you be American? I used to be American. What do you mean you used to be American? Once you're an American, you're American for life now. No, some of us, you remember when this also person became the president, I saw them change the rule, Baba, now just one parking ticket. I do, Baba. They just one bag of Igbo then catch me with, and I paid fine and everything is fine. But they just bring this rule. They said because I get a criminal record, because I have criminal record, they don't want any immigrant who has criminal record, and that is why they just cancel my citizenship. What? Can they do that? Where have you been living? Because it is possible. It is possible. And I want you to always have that at the back of your mind, that as long as we live and we are enjoying this freedom of speech, enjoying these other things that, because let's just be honest, I'm not saying everybody that left Nigeria indeed achieved their dreams. But let us be honest with ourselves, okay? More than 90% of people who left Nigeria, okay, actually achieved their dreams. But some blew it, some maintained them. Sure, you understand now? And they have become whatever, you know what I mean? They have become today. So in that your comfort zone, and you don't want to wake up one day that it is no longer yours, Baba, I am begging you, if I have to beg you or plead again, no, I am begging you to remember that second passport. Because if all of us want to be honest, majority of us today, we now have things we used to kind of dream about. Let us be honest. I don't mind where you live or wherever you are right now. A lot of us today, we now have things we used to dream or pray for. Some of you now have a dual citizenship. Your children now have dual citizenship. You used to pray for that, remember? I mean, you used to dream about that, Abi? Some of you have houses that you have built, businesses. A lot of you have become so prominently important in your families. These were your dreams. A lot of you wanted to see the world, to be able to live a life of a free bird. Today, you have been to God knows how many countries. Some of you wanted to be, acknowledged on your academic successes, business successes, and so many other things you choose in life, and you have achieved them. Some of you today, if they say about Mama Olowo, rich woman, you know you are not rich, but a lot of the things you have today, you used to pray for them. You used to dream about them. So consider them as privilege and privileges that has earned you a very, very big voice that you could really influence and change things. Because you could lose all of them. Yeah. That fancy car. I used to dream about new cars or more. No, well, I used to dream about buying a car. Sure, you get. And then not dream like, everyone's, I want to have a car. And I finally had a car, Then I started fantasizing what it is like to have a brand new car. I still haven't bought a brand new car, but I've got something very close. When I say brand new car, like being the first person, 0 mileage, I still don't know how it feels like, but I have something close to it. But what I have today, a majority of my own little successes, here you get them, my little wins, they used to be my prayer points. So I consider them as the privilege that I shouldn't abuse by thinking that it cannot change no matter how bad or worse it comes to. I don't think like that. And once you don't think like that, and you believe that, what if all of this changes? What if all of this, like, what if you wake up tomorrow and all these privileges you have wherever you are living right now? Americans are the most spoiled people in the world anyway, from my own definition. Maybe not from experience, because Americans will be, come on, stop it. But Americans, I believe, are the most, spoiled people. So all of you in America, God bless you, by the way. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and all of that privileges. I'm not saying they are privileges that you just pick on the road, though. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has a story. In fact, all of you have different scars to show for what you have been able to make of your lives. I'm proud of you. I'm only speaking to your conscience right now to say, look at every sacrifice you paid. Everything that you put into what you have now become today, that some are going to see as privilege, including me, because it's privilege. Today is like privilege now. Because there are people who are working, who are more hardworking than you. There are people who are smarter than us, hardworking than us. But Nigerian system is so rigged against them that your colleagues who are doing the same thing you are doing today in America could barely survive. So yeah, it can be a privilege now. Now imagine all of that is taken away. You can no longer go back to that your job, okay? And you have no access to your properties, or you probably have to put them up for sale to a quick sale and all of that, like cut your losses and all that, because the wall is closing in. You are now being treated like somebody who just dropped from the sky and landed in America, somebody who has no record, no nothing, who has no idea of where to start from. Imagine your life for a moment like that. Imagine what you are sitting down there watching me, possibly in your house, some of you in your car, some of you are watching me right there in your office, in your workplace, the places that actually makes you, keeps your mental health, everything intact, all your dream, aspiration and everything ongoing like that. Imagine all of that are probably no longer there. And we all have to end up in Nigeria. Do you think you will still be very proud of Nigeria as a patriotic Nigerian if all of that you're Canadian, American, British, Australian, German, Swedish, Finnish, and all of those privileges that you currently enjoys, gone. And we are all back in Nigeria, trying to figure out how much 1,000 naira can help us to stay alive for the day. How can we manage 20,000 naira? Or, yeah, you know, a lot of us give people money, right? Let's see how many people in Nigeria, who are every day complaining and as well, right? Because we are comfortable where we are, and some of you are patriotic Nigerians abroad. Now, all of us are there. Let's see if we can now possibly, same way you are giving people money, right? Let's see if some of them will now be able to say, sorry, Jarema Yegun, I missed your call. How is everything? Baba, since I come back to this country, it's not easy. I just thought that maybe you can just do something for me. I'm fee 200,000 naira. Let's see what business you can do with 500,000 naira. Maybe some of you are abroad, Abi, and because you wanted to pretend in your comfort, you wanted to pretend that you love Nigeria, and others don't love Nigeria. Okay, people can do business with 20,000 naira. They can start a business with. There are some people who can start a business with 1 million naira from your comfort zone. One day when they take all of that away from us. Now, let's see how many of us can build a business with 1 million, with 2 million, with 10,000, with 20,000, trader money, and all of that stuff. So maybe when all of us begin to imagine the world where they want us to go back to where we come from by policies like this, do you think you will still be patriotic Nigerian? You will still be a patriotic Nigerian, or a patriotic Ghanaian, or a patriotic African in your different comfort zone? Would you still be able to tell people to be patient with their criminal leaders? Would you still be able to tell people and yourself that it is not everything we have to tell the world? We should all be praying. Will you still be able to tell people to pray? Because I am asking you all of this. I know I am speaking to some people who have a block mind. But you see, when I see actions like this, I always want to remind myself that if I continue to stay aloof, to play ostrich, because it hasn't affected me yet. Make I give you a little breakdown Okay? I could have said it is none of my business what is happening to you in Nigeria. And I could have been famous for just being somebody who is making skits and making you laugh in your sorrow. And I could still pretty much do well by saying it's none of my business. She made me I don't japa already. So why should I bother myself about others who don't care about themselves anyway? Abi? So it is also similar to saying, you see those who have also jackpot like me, who are on the journey of being played by different systems in different countries that they are going to find themselves. If I now decided that at least me, I no get visa problem, nobody say I go dey queue for visa again. All these laws they are making, none of them is my business. If they say people where they earn good money, even in their own economy, I am still doing far better than more than 60% of the UK population. Sure, you understand? I am still in that category of this. Oh, it no concern me. Sure, you get? One day, like those who said they came for the socialists. I looked away because I no be socialist. They came for the communists. I look away because I no be communist. They came for the Catholics. Say, well, I am not, thank God I'm not a Catholic. So it's none of my business. They also went for the Pentecostals. They say, oh, good enough, I'm not a Pentecostal. So then they went for the Jews. They say, oh, fair enough, I'm not a Jew. Now the Jew problem. Then they went for the Muslims. I say, oh, I'm not a Muslim. I don't even like Islam and all of that. Made them kill themselves, made them kill them. It's none of my business. Baba, then they came for you. Guess what? There was nobody to speak for you because there will be nobody to speak for you. Remember, when they were coming for everyone, since he no touch you, since you are fine, today people are crying, people are hungry, people are dying, people are skipping their medication because of the economic problems. They are even bombing people to death when they are celebrating the birthday of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People are being kidnapped. Every day you are hearing all of this because you are in a safe zone. Your opinion is always, it's none of my business. That's their own business. How is that one my own business? Oh, Baba, let them face themselves. They came for the revolution now. You looked away because you don't like Showore. They came for the IPOB. You cheer them on because you don't like Nnamdi Kanu. They came for the Shiites. You cheer them on. They deserved to be killed because you don't like El Zazaki. They came for the Yoruba Nation campaigners. You said they must be killed simply because you don't like Sunday Igboho. They ganged up and killed young people. I'm talking about the young Nigerians. But because you have a phobia for the hashtag EndSARS now, it sounded like a resurrection. It sounded like a revolution. It is sponsored by the people who don't like the government. See? So because of that, kill them. Since you are not one of the EndSARS, Abi, then one day they will come for you. You would want people to say, hey, leave him alone. But guess what? The people that would have said, leave him, leave her, you looked away when they came for them. And that's what I've been talking about in this Migrants Diary Political. Do not wait until you become that victim. Because, hey, when you actually become the victim, Baba, now only grace of God go make you live to tell this story. A lot of people here will tell you their stories about Nigeria. Near-death experiences. Because they are opportune to live to tell this story. The saddest thing in life is for you to never believe any of this. Not because they are not real, but because you have chosen never to believe them. You know, the saddest one is that when the reality finally sets in, at the last minute, last hour, before you will give up the ghost, everything will begin to play back. You'll be looking at your life flashing just before you. And you will wish you could probably just change everything that moment. You would wish you could go back and redo things, undone some things. But it is too late. It will be too late. Now that one, they imagine like somebody who continued to say they are proud Nigerian and they ended up in the hand of a terrorist. And after 2-3 months, they now realized that no matter how much you love what do you call it? Well, anyway, don't let me say that because something can trigger people small time now. And they will begin to say, my ego, for every good thing you have said, you just ruined everything when you started making that joke about religion. I don't like the way you make jokes, so I don't want to trigger you because I really want you to think and think deeper, especially those of you who don't consider what we currently have outside Nigeria right now as a temporary privilege that can be taken away from us. So I don't want to trigger you, okay? And quite quickly offend you and say, every good thing you've said now, you just ruined it. And why would you go and talk? Why would you say that? And you don't say me. I know they care how you feel. Anything that comes to my mouth, I say them. But you see, this one is very different. This one is like you have to sit down and think about yourself and say, listen, what if everything is taken away from us? What if you can no longer drive that your car? What if you can no longer access that your credit card? What if you can no longer access that your money in your bank? What if something is put on that simply because you have been flagged? And you got there, you are now told that you can no longer take all of them. You can no longer do that anymore. You can no longer access everything that give you privileges now. In fact, your days are numbered. And then you have to live like other people that are currently going through that now. So that's what I'm trying to paint out. I don't want to offend you. Usually I offend people for a living. I actually trigger people to make you angry and all of that stuff. But I don't want to trigger you. I want to get you thinking. That you see all these laws you are hearing here and there. A lot of us believe that we are now beyond that. We are not beyond anything. And the way the world is going. I was watching this video. Charm says I should take calls. You know, if I don't take calls, the moment we get to 2 hours, I am likely not going to take calls. But it seems that it's not really, it hasn't frozen since. Or is it just me that just continue to talk? Tell me, have you noticed this phrasing again? Like, I know we're probably still experiencing the lagging in the voice and the audio, right? But tell me, it's still good, manageable, right? So I think let's just continue the TED Talk, okay? The TED Talk that has made some of you, wherever you are right now, thinking like, I am not saying it is going to happen. I'm not here to scare you, okay? I'm actually trying to get all of us to begin to take this advocacy, this enlightenment, this mobilization to get everybody on board, to make us understand the real danger lurking around us, to stop us from making jokes about it, okay? To make us see that even if we live long enough not to experience what I'm saying now, our children, they are going to exist in a world that is not guaranteed or certain, because we are going to be living on the fear and wishes of other people. Right now in the UK, that the same people who issued excess visas, who issued visas to people, they now call the visa excess, net migration. Okay? And suddenly, that has now created fear. The British themselves, the British people in this country, there is a segment of them that are now living in fear of what immigration is going to do to them. So we are building the future. All of us, we're there abroad, we are building the future of our own children on the future fear of the children of the owners of these countries of today. Because you see, these people who are making all these laws and policies, their own children, they are going to live in the world where they will be afraid of immigrants. The contribution of immigrants will be acknowledged, but it's never really going to be valued that way. Okay? Yeah, fine. Okay, yeah, you are contributing, you are working this or that, but you are also using us to help your family, your poor family back in your country. So every contribution we are making in this country, there will always be a generation that's going to continue to say, listen, you are not doing us any favor. And if you think you are contributing to this country, then go back to your country and contribute in your country. Stop saying you are contributing, Go back to your country and do that. Why can't you go and contribute the same thing in your country? This is already the systemic fear that the generations that are here and the generations yet unborn, this is the world they are going to live in. So when we are talking about the calamities, the criminals who pushed us to this stage, there's no point in joking about it simply because you are comfortable. It's probably not affecting you per se. That's the point I'm making. Do you understand now? Because one day, that privilege may be gone. We need people. We need ourselves, including those who are in Nigeria, to understand that even if you are planning to JAPA, you are also coming into the same system that is going to blame you for the failure of their own politicians. Your children are going to hear that. My children are going to hear that. Whenever they are talking about immigration, my children are going to begin to feel like, oh, they are talking about us. So for us to know that, before we get to that stage where they will come, they pack all of us inside cargo plane, they will come go, they dump us in Rwanda, in Kigali, in Malawi, in Warri. It is ideal for all of us to stop fooling around and being pretentious, patriotic Nigerians from abroad. Because you see this shit, even if you run away from Nigeria, you are running into a bigger shit in all these places. 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, eventually, all of us will run out of Nigeria. We are either going to voluntarily JAPA-DA to Nigeria. And you see that thing we are running away from now, that some of us are still playing this tribal ethnic politics with. Despite our exposure, one day we are going to JAPA-DA into it. Imagine after 30 years of living Nigeria. I actually feel sorry for some of you who are already citizens of some of these countries who left Nigeria 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Imagine what it's going to be like if you have to return back to Nigeria 40 years after, and things have actually gone so worse than when you left 40 years ago. And to those of you who are already JAPA-ing now, yours may be, before you JAPA-DA, it may be 5 years, it may be 10, it may be 15, it may be 20. with all these far-right politicians and political parties taking power all over the world, it may even be quicker than that. So where are we going to JAPA-DA to? We are going to JAPA-DA to your lovely Nigeria, the Nigeria that you... So I'm going to ask you now, with the condition back there, would you still be able to tell yourself that Rome was not built in a day? After your experience living in all these countries, and you ended up having to JAPA-DA to Nigeria to begin to ask for your own urgent 2K, would you be able to tell yourselves then, that all the killings don't really matter, all the stealings, all the lootings, all the human rights abuses, all of the abuse of their own rule of law, the abuse of their own constitution, all of the excuses you are giving to them, because you can easily, comfortably type all of that wherever you are right now, would you still be able to tell yourself the same thing? Because as it is right now, all of una, Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, who always turn everything to tribal, ethnic, and the rest of that, and you are living in countries where the same you are shouting racism. They are so racist. They don't like black people. They don't like black people. With all of una useless jagbajantis called Gotamautu. Una be the same people where they shout racism everywhere. Where Oyibo no like black, Oyibo no like, but Olori Brukwara, you are Nazis, Ronu Nazis. Are you going to be able to go back to the shit Olu and begin to tell yourself that Rome was not built in a day? I just thought I should tell you I was going to take calls, but with all of the technical glitches we suffered from the start, I am going to beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, but in a good way, okay? Like, pardon me. I'm going to say I'm so grateful to all of you who stayed back and didn't leave despite all the glitches. I promise you it won't be like that next time, okay? So I will see you some other time. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And if my message for any reason resonates with you, and you believe that you could make a difference, your difference is going to be greatly appreciated. Your influence, your privilege right now is to join hands with others. Listen to me. If you want to know those who hate Nigeria, they are those who are spending every day and night to further put Nigerians in perpetual misery, that are forcing a lot of you to make decision of leaving the country. They are those who have brought shame and embarrassment and disgrace to Nigeria. Okay? So not you trying to blame other people who are trying to fight for their lives. Do you get that? Now we can start from there. Okay? If this makes any sort of impression on you, you can still like my broadcast, subscribe to it, and see me here next time, same place. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Mayegun Diary, Nayibi #1.
balẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Mayegun Diary na ibi number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Mayegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.